Okay, this next story has been one that's been sparking debates all across the nation at schools. Now, state lawmakers in North Dakota are weighing a potential ban on what they consider to be sexually explicit books at public libraries. The books in question contain visual depictions of sexual content. They mention gender identity, sexual preference, sexual perversion. The proposal states that if librarians refuse to remove those books, they would be charged with a misdemeanor with a maximum sentence of 30 days behind bars and a $1,500 fine. I am joined right now by the Chief Morale Officer at the Bismarck Veterans Memorial Public Library in North Dakota, Christine Kujawa. Thank you, Christine, for being with us.
Thank you.
Now, this ban, obviously, it's a proposal. It's not been implemented yet. But did you ever think that you would be having a discussion about the fact that certain books on the shelf could land you in jail?
No, nor did I think that I would have to consult with lawyers and potentially have one on retainer should this pass.
These books have been singled out. Again, we mentioned some of the topics, but messaging on gender identity is a huge concern. House Majority Leader Mike LaFleur introduced the bill. He cited a number of factors. He says that youth, children exposed to these kinds of books have a higher chance of drug addiction, low self-esteem, and unprotected sex at a young age. What would you say if he were here this morning?
Well, he also said that instead of getting books at the library on sex education, that they should go to the internet, which I think is an awful thing to say. Children and their parents should be able to come in the library, get the information that they need on the topics that they want. That's what the public library is here for. It is not up to the government to decide what people have access to, nor is it up to other citizens. That is government censorship and overreach.
And you know, some people are arguing that these books are not obscene, that they have positive messaging about body image and how to recognize an abusive relationships. What are your biggest concerns about the proposed ban, besides the fact that it could land you in jail?
Just that it's not up to individuals to decide for others what they have access to for the information that they want. It's up to each individual. And in the case of minors, like I said, it's up to their parents to decide. This bill would open this up to anyone to be able to challenge any book that they think is obscene, which is completely subjective. And if this would pass, there would be no process to go through to review it. I would have 30 days to remove it, no questions asked. And if I don't, then I could be criminally charged. I am a librarian.
Tennessee, Utah, Missouri, Florida, Oklahoma, they've all passed similar bills in restricting content at school libraries, not public libraries. Do you think the proposal is going to pass? What's your gut telling you?
I don't know. All I can say is that all of the public librarians, our supporters, citizens are rallying together to do whatever we can to educate our state government and hope that this bill dies on the floor so that we can go back to our jobs.
Is it really just, I'm trying to just get one more question in quickly with you, Christine. Is it really just about you feeling like you're being put on the spot in your job where you're simply wanting to sit in a library, offer the books, make sure people turn them in on time, but that this is being so politicized? Or can you at least somewhat understand the concerns of some in the community who are wanting to take these books off the shelf?
Sure. I understand their concerns. I think maybe in their heart of hearts, they're looking to what they think is best for minors based on their own personal beliefs. But the thing about public libraries and information is that it's available to everyone in the community, not just certain people. And it's not, our collections are not based on what a certain group of people think is appropriate or moral. We have individuals in the LGBTQ community in our community as well, and they should be represented.
Christine Kujawa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.